All of you should become a brahmachari. If a certain percentage of people are thinking beyond their own well-being, only then a society will remain sane and stable. Because you could not find joy, you settled for pleasure. Whenever you involve yourself in pleasure, one thing is good for the nation's population. I'm just listing the benefits. Why brahmacharya? What is brahmacharya first? Brahman means the ultimate or the divine. Charya means the path. One who is on the path of the ultimate or one who is on the path of the divine is a brahmachari. One who is on the path of the divine means, see, after all, everybody is in search of joyfulness, isn't it? Knowingly or unknowingly. Yes or no? Because you could not find joy, you settled for pleasure. Pleasure is not joy. Pleasure is just a shadow of joy. It's beautiful, but it's very limited. Whenever you involve yourself in pleasure, if you want to have pleasure, you need something or somebody to have pleasure, isn't it? The deeper you go into pleasure, the deeper your bondage with this something or somebody. Suppose this something or somebody is taken away from you, you will be broken. Isn't it so? If you have a very deep involvement with pleasure, that something or somebody which gives you pleasure, if it's taken away from you, aren't you broken? So, your existence becomes that of huge bondage. Bondage is not something that any human being enjoys. There is something within you which is always wanting to be free from all bondage, isn't it? But if you become a pleasure seeker, naturally you're setting up limitations in such a pleasant way that you cannot transcend it. Unpleasant limitations, you can break them. Pleasant limitations, you cannot break them, isn't it? Lot of your shackles, you have gold-plated them and you're wearing them like ornaments, aren't you? Your limitations, you're celebrating your limitations. Once you start celebrating your limitations, then there is no way to become free of that. So brahmacharya means you're on the path of the divine. That means, first step towards that is you're joyful by your own nature. Whenever you're very happy, you're joyful. Have you noticed you don't seem to need anything? Yes? On a particular day, you're very happy. If you don't eat, if you don't sleep, it doesn't matter. Is that so? You're unhappy, then everything has to be perfect, you complain about everything in the world. When you're really joyful, just see, it sets you free. When you're unhappy, everything is important, everything has to be in a particular way. For everything you will complain. Unhappy people are always complaining. Happy people are always easy to work with, easy to be with, because nothing matters when you're happy. Everything is flexible. Which is freedom? Joy is freedom or pleasure is freedom? Joy is obviously freedom, isn't it? So, you're seeing how to become joyful. If you seek it outside, you will invariably end up becoming a pleasure seeker. Anyway, the source of joy is within you. Whenever you were happy, did happiness happen from within you or did it rain upon you from outside? Always within you, isn't it? So if the source of happiness is within you, searching for it outside is quite a stupid thing. It is just that the source of happiness is within you, you are using an external stimulus to bring forth the joy in you. Or in other words, your joy is on push start. Shall we fix self-start on it? If you put self-start on your joy, then you're a brahmachari. Now, you're on the path of the divine. You're joyful by your own nature. Have all the brahmacharis here become like that? Maybe not, but that's the intention. They're working towards that. To work towards that, you need a certain space and time of your own, that you don't have other things to handle in your life. So, they have chosen a certain way of life. Now, yesterday we went up the mountain, just carrying your own body weight and reaching there, many of you, your legs are trembling, isn't it? Suppose you want to carry 4 people on your shoulders and walk up the mountain, how many of you would make it? Most of you would not make it, isn't it? So that's why brahmacharya, you understand? You are planning to climb a big peak. If you had the strength to carry 10 people on your shoulders and walk, that would be fantastic. But we rarely find such people. It's better to walk alone, so they walk alone. Now, your problem is, that by the time you became 14, your intelligence got hijacked by your hormones so much, you can't understand or you cannot accept how somebody can be free from it. Somebody can just sit here and be happy, they don't have to get married, they don't have to run behind the opposite sex, they don't have to do this or that. They're just happy doing simple things in their life, more joyful than you, more intense than you. So does it mean all of you should become a brahmachari? No, all of you should become a brahmachari internally. In terms of lifestyle, not necessarily. Brahmacharya does not mean just celibacy, okay? That is just one of the aspects that have been taken up as a supportive system to become a brahmachari. Brahmacharya means you're walking the path of the divine, that you're ecstatic by your own nature. You can be married and still be a brahmachari. It is possible because you are joyful by your own nature. You're not trying to extract joy from your husband or wife. You are joyful by your own nature. This is how it should be. The whole world should be brahmachari. Everybody should be joyful by their own nature. If two people come together, it should be more a sharing of joy, not extracting joy from each other, isn't it? So those who have decided that they don't want to extract anything from anybody, they want to source their own inner joy, they have taken brahmacharya. And why a certain order has been set up? They have been taken up not just for their realization. If it's just their realization, we can take care of in so many ways. What you see as they being unmarried is just a small part of it. The rest of it is very internal. And people who are willing to dedicate themselves for others' well-being are needed in the society. At any time, if there is nobody in the society who is thinking about others' well-being, that society is heading for ruin, definitely. That's what has happened to this society right now. There are very few people thinking of everybody's well-being. Others are all, what about me, what about me, what about me? If a certain percentage of people are thinking beyond their own well-being, only then a society will remain sane and stable. Otherwise, societies will just go for ruin. Is it not important? There are few people who are not thinking about their own well-being, their own life, they're seeing how to make it happen for somebody else. So brahmacharis are an investment for future, to keep spirituality in its pristine purity and to transmit it from generation to generation. A small core group of people are needed. Everybody need not take that thing, nor will we take everybody. Every year, hundreds of applications for brahmacharya comes. We just choose 8-10 people out of that, looking at various qualities and various possibilities. We don't take everybody who comes, because it's not necessary, nor can they be like that, nor can they put in the sadhana that is required or demanded out of them. Your personality has to become malleable and conscious, that you can mold yourself into any kind of pot. Is it not good to have that freedom? That's brahmacharya.